Hey there, news enthusiasts! It's April 23rd, 2025, and today we're diving into the latest developments in the ongoing effort to broker peace in Ukraine. So, here's the scoop. High-level peace talks in London just got cancelled after U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio pulled out. This decision also led to the scrapping of other meetings involving the UK, Germany, France, and Ukraine. But don't worry, U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff will still meet with Putin. Now let's talk about the initial U.S. proposal. The U.S. suggested a 30-day ceasefire followed by long-term peace talks. Ukraine agreed to this, even dropping their demands for security guarantees. But Russia, they said niet, citing concerns about NATO expansion and Ukrainian sovereignty. Then things got even more complicated when a leaked U.S. proposal surfaced. This version suggested freezing the conflict along the current lines, allowing Russia to keep control of 4 partially occupied regions and recognizing Crimea as Russian territory. Plus, Ukraine would have to abandon its NATO aspirations. Unsurprisingly, Ukraine and European nations weren't thrilled with this idea. So, what are the sticking points? Major disagreements remain on Ukraine's military future, sanctions on Russia, long-term security, and of course, Crimea's status. Trust between all parties is at an all-time low. Ukraine insists on a full ceasefire before even thinking about territorial discussions. Now here's the U.S. position. VP J.D. Vance says the U.S. might abandon talks if no deal is reached. He's optimistic, but insists on territorial concessions. The U.S. proposal includes recognizing Russia's annexation of Crimea and lifting some sanctions. This hasn't exactly endeared them to Ukraine, which is reluctant to accept these terms. Ukraine, on the other hand, remains firm. Deputy PM Yulia Sviridenko has rejected any notion of recognizing Russian sovereignty over Crimea and demands a full ceasefire. President Zelensky is, however, open to a U.S. partnership on restarting the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. And what about Europe? European nations are siding with Ukraine, opposing the U.S. proposals that favor Russia. Public backlash has been fierce. There's strong disapproval of the U.S. pulling out of the talks, with criticism aimed at the Trump administration and Rubio. So where does this leave us? As of now, major gaps remain, and a final deal still seems far off. The chances of the U.S. successfully brokering peace in Ukraine are uncertain, but the world is watching closely. Stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for the latest on this developing story. Until next time, take care.